Tashdile. I'm happy to be here today with all of you. I don't know what to say, but I think we all gathered here today, and we are all happy to be here, that I know. And but I think we all have different ways of thinking, different ways of doing things, different things to eat, right? We all have different. And but I think what is common for us is that we all want happiness, and we all reject suffering. And I think it is, and we search for the cause of happiness, and we try to avoid the cause of suffering. And I think that is very important, and we should be doing that. We have the rights to do it. But sometimes we do things which are totally cause of suffering, but we don't realize that it is cause of suffering. We mean well. We want to do the best, right? So I think, and also we do things which are, we sometimes reject things which are cause of happiness. Even though it is cause of happiness, we don't realize it is the cause of happiness, and we don't engage. Like we don't engage. Engage into it. So, but this is something not new. This has been happening for the last so many centuries, and I think due to that, so much of those suffering, so much of those disasters, so much of wars has happened in history, which has, I think, caused so much problem and suffering, not only for some people, but all over the world. As we can see in the history books, right? It is all written down. So much of killing. If I go recent time, maybe World War I, World War II, so much of disaster. Everyone is trying to, do their best, but as a result, nothing good has shown. There's no, out of all money, all that money they spent, all that energy, all those human resource that they have contributed towards the World War I and II, but was all sort of, there was no good result out of it. Instead of that, still we are suffering, right, from that. I think many of those world sort of conflicts still now are out of result of World War II, still, right? Americans, Russians, all that. So I think, somehow humans have not learned lesson how to live together. Very, very territorial, we, they, I, he, she, racial, races, color-wise, within the races, different sort of very, you all know about it, right? And I think I could understand in the old days that was maybe part of the culture and part of whatever it had to be. But now we are into this modern world where we are, all supposed to be, part of this modern world where there should not be any, races, or there should not be any of those. How should I put it? The mirigi yemje ta chulu yemje the chair nevchi. Wa ethnic and religious divisions. Wow, such a struggle. So, yeah, too bad we have only one microphone. Yeah. So like that. So I think really, I could understand in some places where they still keep the old tradition, right, nowadays, right? Monarchies or, tribe heads. But in some of those developed places where such, like where we say democracy, non-racial, and even the system allows for a very, how should I put it, free and fair. But in practice, we don't do it, right? And I think this is causing a lot of the problems in this society that we have to live in, right? So I think this is something very, very serious, and this is we have to overcome this. I think this will only lead us to a very bad result. So I think, but we have to know how to do it, right? That is important. And I think it is due to lack of education, right? I think if we have good education, then we have better vision. If we have better vision, then I think we will see that races and such, of those fanatic way of thinking is not the best solution. And I think we need more religious. I'm not saying we have to be believers. Whether we are religious or not, that's totally up to us. Whether we are believers or not, that's totally up to the individual. But we have to take those teachings, right, which is relevant for our to bring a better world, to bring a happier world, to bring a happier society. We should take those teachings. Any teachings. It does not have to necessarily be Buddhism. It could be from Islam. It could be from Christian or Hinduism or Buddhism, wherever, where those valuable teachings, and we have to put into our practice, our action, and I think that is lacking in many places in the world. And I think the vision has to be far-sighted, far-sighted. So if you only think about today or tomorrow, then maybe not, right? For your own small gain, you can, make conflict. But if your vision is far-sighted, if you really think about the next generation, and if you really think about the future world, then we have to know how to live together. After all, we are all human beings, right? If once there was a conflict in India where Muslims and Hindus were killing each other, and if a Muslim guy comes, if he is even a good person, he should be killed. And if a Hindu guy comes, even he is a good person, just because he's a Hindu, he should be killed. That was the mentality at that time. And there were, a lot of people injured and came into the hospital, right? And when they are, when they have to be how should I put it, operated due to those difficult instances, then no clothes, right? Then they operate. You look inside, all the same, Hindu, Muslim, right? You have the heart, lung, whatever, the organs. No one can differentiate, right? So, but in our society, we make a lot of distinct divisions, right? And we see the person totally, if he's if that person is not from my community, we sort of, push him back, her or him back. And if it is in our community, even he's not a good person, we include. So I think this way of thinking is very unbiased, very biased. So, and this is causing all the problems. So we have to learn how to be more biased. Unbiased. I don't know, yeah. Yeah, so I think that is very important. And one of the important methods of care for others, love and care, and if as affection is to be more compassionate, to more loving and caring. And teaching of love and compassion is so relevant, so important. I think that is lacking. Nobody talks about love and compassion these days. Only about nuclear weapons, money, that $1 billion, $2 billion, $100 billion. There's that, power struggle. When the leaders meet, they don't talk about how to make a happier society. They don't talk about how to make a healthier society. They neglect the environment, right? That is just like, not an important subject. It's at the last. Maybe they even don't spend few seconds on that. They spend hours on, power and money and, weapons. And so love and compassion, I mean, we talk, right? Here we talk, but not in that, not those powerful people. They don't spend any time on that. But even though it is the only solution that it can make a better world, happier world, and it is so relevant for every creature, but no one talks about it, right? And so that is the major problem. So I think we have to make awareness within the society that how much important is the love and compassion, the teaching of love and compassion. I think no one can reject this, right? If it is a philosophical view, right, then of course there are so many different way of judging, right, philosophical. But when it comes to love and compassion, I think every religion respects that. Every religion talks about that. Even non-religious people who are atheists, who reject religion, they also cannot reject love and compassion, right? Because the reason is we all survive on that. Because why you and myself are still alive and kicking now, still alive, yeah, because we survive from that, right? That was the source of our survival. Right from the beginning, right? From mother's care, teacher's care, friends' care, society's care, environmental care, right? Because of love and affection, right? If there was no love and compassion, we would have not been here now, right? So the only reason why we are here now, healthy and talking and you listening, I'm talking because of the care, love and affection that we were raised up, and so everywhere it's like that, So I think it is important that we should make the awareness of love and compassion and affection, is important for this society and for a better world, a happier world. So I think that is very, very important. And if that word can be spread slowly, slowly, that has to, awareness should be taught in every level, I think. And all those, even like natural disasters, right, earthquakes or floods, tornadoes, and fire, it's all due to not taking care of the environment, where it's lacking because of all those industries, right? So when it comes to money, then we neglect environment, right? And then all those natural disasters come, and then there are so much of those, as a result, so much people suffer from it. But so that is also due to lack of love and affection, love and compassion. So I think awareness of love and compassion should be educated within every level of society, from not only from schools, not necessarily from each and every family, right? That message should be spread, and in school, in families, right? Everywhere, if that can be spread, I think one can make a better world. And so I feel that is very important, that we should, promote. And third topic, what was the topic today? Cultural identities. So culture identity, now what we are talking now is due to what is the culture identity, right? Culture identity, I think, is that as a human being, the identity is that we should be healthy, and we should have a healthy mind and healthy body, right? To have a healthy body and healthy mind, we should, source of that is making others happy. If you can make others happy, then you will receive love and compassion from others. If you receive love and compassion from others, then you will be happy, right? We neglect others' welfare. We only think about ourselves. If I'm happy, it's good enough. If he dies or gets sick, who cares, right? That kind of way of thinking is maybe even if it is not there in a gross form, some sort of subtle level it is there, right? Oh, he died, okay, so sorry, nothing much. My family, my this, then sorrow is there, right? Deep sorrow. Then my wife died, my husband died, then really become emotional. So not because you love that person so much, but you love yourself too much. Then because it's my this, then it becomes more important. So the whole idea is because you are so attached to yourself, right? So I think that kind of selfishness or self-centered way of thinking is is polluting our mind, right? We all have the potential to become a good person and very helpful, right? We all have the unique sort of power to make a better world, but we don't make it into action because of those kind of self-centered and selfishness is polluting our mind, and we think we are doing the best for ourselves, but really we are harming ourselves. As a result, you don't receive love and compassion. You become left out it, right? That we see in our society, right? Some people who are very angry, very self-centered, people stay away, right? If a person is very patient, very loving, caring, people come towards him or her and they listen to you, they help you, and they talk good about you, right? And you are also more happier, right? So I think this kind of you know message is also being taught. You know, ambitious, being ambitious. You have to beat the others. You have to, you know, win. You have to be in the first. You know, that kind of message is being spread somehow in this society, which is, I think, very bad for the human, for the human mind. You know? And we, as a result, we all suffer. So I think we should learn how to, you know, make others happy, how to care more about others. If that is being put into practice, then we will have a happier and healthier life. Then identity is automatically there, I think. No need to make an identity, right? Culture, sort of culture identity. Culture identity, I think, comes from people's sort of from their culture identity, I think, should come from their behaviors or their actions, right? I think that is very important. Otherwise, more than that, no need sort of culture identity, I think. That's what I think. So I don't know. So this is some of my thoughts that I wanted to share. And you want to have any questions?
So, I saw the title of the presentation. Well, anticipated but cultural identity, so I mean, American Irish descent, is that kind of what you mean by cultural identity?
Yeah, of course. That no one can reject that.
Right.
Right?
But at the same time, you're saying that we are interdependent and we have to find a way to get along with others.
Yes. Yes. That's true. Yeah.
How do you in the different cultures where you have personal challenges that you how do you address that? Which I am reported a couple of times, but on a personal level that I realize is cultural difference. It's not just a personal behavior. So you address on understanding perspectives from different cultures.
I think we need to learn how to listen from others. We keep talking, right? And we never listen. And if we listen, we will learn. And we need patience for that also, right? You don't want to listen, not enough, not enthusiastic for other culture. So there's so much to learn from others also. So I think we need to spend time, listen, and be patient. Gradually we will learn. Like I always say that the war in Vietnam, in America, right, in 1970s, that was totally wrong, you know, because America thought they were doing the best, but it turned out that was all you know, wrong, you know. And some of the American generals still alive saying, you know, we didn't understood that. We thought the Vietnamese were unhappy, but they were happy. You know, they may have some problems. Everywhere there's problems, right? But they were happy. They didn't want the Americans bombing them. So America thought they did the best. You know? So that is due to not, you know, misunderstanding, and they didn't listen. They didn't do much investigation. You know, they just thought, you know, okay, there's a problem. We are going to go and solve it. But that was wrong, right? So such cases from maybe your side or our side, however one can say, we try to be best, try to do the best, but in action, in reality, it is not the best. So I think we have to listen. And there's a saying also, if you talk, you repeat what you know. If you listen, then you will learn something. So, that is important, I think. And still there's a lack, still. So there needs to be more of those kind of workshops or, culture exchange and people traveling. People travel, you should travel more, right? When they travel, it's different. What you read in the book, if you travel, you experience it, right? So it's much, much different. So people have to have to travel more. Many others, they have to come to America. Americans, they should go to Asia or other parts of the world. Then you will learn gradually. It doesn't happen in one conversation or two conversations. Over the years, then you learn. So I think like that. Yeah. Mm. Okay. Yeah. Yes, we tend to be, we try to be best, right? And we try to do the best for ourselves. But we somehow, our mind is polluted and diluted. And due to that, we try to gain happiness through harming the others, right? So that is wrong. So that is somehow, it is there, like such as anger, right? Such as hatred, jealousy, right? It's not been taught. No one needs to teach them, right? Alphabet we have to teach, right? But anger, jealousy, no one taught the children, right? It's there from the beginning. So we have to know how to show antidote towards that. And that is the cause of all the sufferings. And we have to realize that. And we have to show antidote. And we should realize that it results with the with suffering. So that's what I was trying to say. Yeah. And also, kindness is taken for weakness. Kindness is source of happiness, but it's taken for weakness. So that kind of mentality we have to change, and we have to, year by year, day by day, right? If we train ourselves, one day we will be able to do that. So I think that is needed very much in our society.
So, how do you treat others with
What without doormat? 배주당했어요. So how do I? So don't care about what others take advantage, right? Right? What others don't. I think it's best if if we don't investigate the others, what they are doing. From your side, we should, from my side or from our side, we should be good to the others, right? And if they take advantage or not, that up to them, right? Yeah.
Makes me think of pause before reacting to whatever situation. That's where I sometimes pause before I react to
So,
sometimes when I ask for opinion, what you want to wonder about the reaction to the opinion.
yeah. Just take a deep breath in between. It will calm your mind.
Can you give us some examples of tricks, of ways that we can clear the mind before interacting with someone where there may be conflict, where you get rid of those self-feelings of defensiveness? That's what I'm hearing in some of this, where you haven't already figured out how you're going to get back at them, right? Where you just clear the mind and present. I think that people have a lot of problems. They already have the answer before the question's asked. And especially for teachers who want their students to just empty their minds so they can pour in all this knowledge. I think that's important.
So what is trick? Not much trick, but I think if we practice love and compassion daily, right? Not use it as a trick, right? Sudden, yeah. That's what I think. We really have to, think all the reasons, different reasons that, the source of suffering is all those delusions. The source of happiness is the love and compassion. Try to meditate, over year by year. Then it will. That's the real trick. Otherwise, there's no sudden trick. I don't see. It may be there, but I don't know. Method, yeah.
There was a stonemason here in town that died very young. He was a very simple living Christian man that made beautiful fireplaces and creations. But he told me once that he hired a lot of young people to work alongside him do the heavy bricklaying, heavy carrying. But he told me that he worked with one fellow for about a year. And one day that man said to him, hey, something about you. And what is it? And that was his opening, simply by being. All the only thing he did was be. But that was his opening to say, well, I'm a Christian, here's what I believe, here's what my advice, and let it flow so naturally just by being that I thought that was a beautiful lesson of teaching. So that's my
Do you have any suggestions on how we can teach compassion together? I plan to be a teacher in the elementary school grades, and I would like to get into compassion in my grades as well. But, and I know that demonstrating it is the best way to do it, but is there a way when two children are in conflict to help them to be more present?
Yeah, every level I think there's a way to teach, but I'm not a very good kids teacher, so there must be ways, but just simple reasons like what I said just when I was giving a talk. Just say that you want to be happy or not. You ask the children. They all say yes. They won't say no, right? Then what the source is, you make the others happy, right? If you make more friends, right? you will receive more love. If you receive more love, then you will be happy, right? They will understand that, I think, right? Even a 2-year, 3-year kid will understand that. So that's how to promote, right? But don't say like, don't teach in a way, such a way like, if you be nice to them, then you will receive more gifts. No, then it will, it is taking to a negative side, right? But it is important that you should be happy. So you make others happy. If you make others happy, you will be happy. Because we are very dependent, and only our way of survival is from others' care. That sort of message is very simple. So that sort of message should be taught, and I think every children will understand that.
Especially our political system, our entertainment. Do you think that as we change and consume products within VR?
Yeah, because that has to be done, but I think people like those, that's why they make it. So, and that is being taught, I think. Violence is being taught, encouraging violence, selling weapons. Like in India, it is totally illegal to carry rifles. But in America, one is allowed to carry around, right? So the system allows, right? So the system has to be changed. And that is through the, system can be changed. It's not permanent, right? It can be changed by the society, the people, right? Because it is a democracy, right? So that's how things should be working. But unfortunately, it seems not to be working. So difficult, right? Yeah. So yeah, so much of distraction, video games, movies, and video games also about violence, right? Shooting, killing, winning, so much of that. So, but that is a very big market. So very unfortunate, but we just, but from our side, we should be promoting what we think it is important, right? Not give up, right? It's better than doing nothing, right? So every level, every way we can do it, we should do it. It will make some result, at least.
But she could just do this on the spot and just tell them a story with the workshops that put out of anything, but not actually that it's directed towards that. And she's a very
Very good. What it feels. I think we all feel it, we don't realize it. So we don't we tend to think how we tend to become curious how it is, but we all survive on that. So I think there's no need to explain, because it is already there and we see it, it's right at front of you, and I think it only brings happiness when you receive it, right? So So this
is something that doesn't require explanation because it is something that is within our experience already. We feel it already.
That's what I think.
When you were talking about use the word tricks, and then you said, oh, maybe poor choice of words. One of the things that I've done, and this kind of fits with what you're saying, when I'm trying to be true to myself and share compassion and love in communications that I know will be challenging, I think about my Aunt Marie, who loves me unquestionably, totally, always, compassion and love always. And so I think about her and feel the love before I interact with the person that I'm worried about, and it helps me to stay focused on being loving and compassionate. So I don't know if that's really a trick, but it helps me.
Yeah, of course. Of course, you are speaking from your own experience, so it is very valid. It's a valid, yeah. It's not only humans, even the animals, they know it, right? If you beat the animal, they stay away. They don't come when you ask them to come, right? Cats and dogs, because even they are much less intelligent than us, but still they know that, they feel it, and if we pat and be nice, they all come, right? And even sometimes scratch the doors, right, to get in. Yeah, I mean, we see it, right, with birds, animals, right? So even they can also sense and feel it, the love and compassion. So that is very, very, very in a gross level that one can sense it. It's not a subtle thing. Yeah. No, I think it is scientifically proven, not that I'm quoting from a Buddhist text or anything, that it is scientifically proven that the nature of humans is compassionate, right? This recent times it is proven. So that proves that the nature of us, all of us, is compassionate. But we are polluted, right? And we are so used to it, right? Due to that bad pollution, or in other words, delusion, right? We are so deluded. But we can overcome it. And that is through experience, right? No tricks, certain tricks, but through training, right? Many training, we can overcome it. So I'm saying nature of our human being is not bad, it is good. We have the potential to be, to become a very, very helpful. But whether it will implement or not, that is in our own hands. Yeah. Who's dying? I think that's about it, no? Thank you very much. Thank you for listening patiently, and I hope some of these discussions are helpful for all of you. Thank you very much.